Super Microcomputer was up 2% last week. It's up 33% on the month and up almost 15% in the last 3 months. But over the year, it's down about 50%. So it is in an uptrend, and I think it's presenting a possible trading opportunity with great upside. So in this video, I want to talk through how this trade might play out and offer some ideas on how you might set up for the trade. Let's take a look. Now, if you enjoy my analysis of SMCI today or other stocks on my channel, you might also enjoy my trading tips. Consider joining my email newsletter where I send you professional trading tips to help you make more profits trading stocks. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Check it out. So last week, Super Microcomputer was up 2%, and it's also up around 33% on the month and 14% over the last 3 months. So it is trending upwards. And we can see on screen, since that low of around $17 back in November 2024, SMCI has been trending upwards. And you can see I've added a trend line here underneath this price trough here and these two levels here, confirming it is in an uptrend. And you can see the progressive higher lows and higher highs. However, right now, since this peak here of $66 in February, it has pulled back towards the trend line here to find support. And more recently, in the last 4 weeks, it created this peak here around about this key level of $48. And in the last 3 weeks, price has now started to go sideways and sort of consolidate. So right now, I think SMCI is at a critical level and price could go either way. And you can see on screen, I have marked up these colored boxes just to indicate where I think these key price zones are corresponding to the key price levels. So you can see I've marked up key levels of support and resistance. So from the top, you can see here, I've got that all-time high of 123. Underneath that, I've marked up $100. Underneath that one, I've got the level of $66, which corresponds to the most recent peak here in February. Underneath that one, I've marked up $48, which corresponds to the peak in the first week of May. And underneath that one, I've got 36, corresponding to the peak back in August 23, and also this price action through here over sort of the last 6 months. Underneath that, I can see some support around $28. And you can see here, it has found support a few times, and that does correspond with this confirmed trend line. Now, underneath $28, I've marked up $17 because that was this level here where SMCI fell into in November 2024, and since that point has moved up and is now trending up. So based on that price history and all these key levels, we can now see the current price action of SMCI is trading above this level of 36 and underneath this previous price peak of 48. So it's in an uptrend, it's making consecutive higher lows. And now the price action is at this sort of crossroads here. It can either move up and break this level here, or perhaps it might fall further and test this level of $36 here. So price action this week hopefully will give us more confirmation whether the buyers or the sellers are going to take control of the price of SMCI and potentially move it up higher this week to challenge this level here, 48, or perhaps sellers will be too strong and price might move down to test this level of 36. Now, if we look at the daily chart for Super Micro, we can also see there is a short-term support level for this stock around about this level here of $39. So we can see there's a little price peak back here, back in January 2025. It met resistance. And then As we look across the chart, we can see a few times it came close there, came close there. We can see also here, this was a level where price created a gap here at around $39. And it's come back to fill that gap. And you can see here, there was some support on Friday, May 23rd, and also Friday, the 30th of May. Two occasions where SMCI's found support short term. It looks as if that level is around about $39. Short term, that would be the first level price would have to break if there's a more bearish scenario going to unfold and price is going to fall a bit further into the stronger weekly level of $36. We'll need to watch this level of $39 over the next few weeks and see whether that one can hold. If it can hold, there's obviously more likelihood that price action will be more bullish and price will start to move up towards the key level here of $48. So back on the weekly chart, you can see I've marked up that level of $39 there with a dashed line, just to show that it is short-term resistance, but it's applying to the daily price action. It's not as strong as the weekly, but nonetheless, you can see that over the past 3 weeks, it has offered some support for the price action. Based on what's happening with SMCI at the moment, what does the possible trading opportunity look like for this stock? Let's take a look. So we know right now it's trading in between this level here of 36 and 48. Ideally, what we need to see first is a break towards the upside and price to break this $48 peak that was created back in the first week of May. This would confirm the buyers are in control and there's more likelihood that the price is going to keep moving up. And once it breaks that level, potentially it's going to challenge this level of $66, which corresponds to the peak here. If it goes through 66, then it could well keep moving up to that next level of $100 and on to the all-time high. So that's the potential upside. But what about the downside risk? Well, if the price met resistance here and didn't break through and price started falling away, it first would have to break this short-term level of 39 and then 36. The next level then, if it became more bearish, would come down to this level here of 27, and then falling through there, it may come down to challenge $17 once again. So that's a possibility, but I think that's highly unlikely. I think SMCI right now is looking bullish, and I think a more bullish scenario is on the cards for this stock. And I say that because we can see we've got consecutive higher lows, we've got a confirmed trend moving up, and it does look as if even if price comes back and tests this level here, 36, you've got that key support price level, and you've also got the trend line moving up in that direction. So there looks as if there is strong support around this level if price falls away in the next few weeks. However, it might not fall away. It might maintain where it is, find support at that short-term level of 39 and start to move up. So, which price levels could you enter SMCI to take a trade? Let's have a look at those. So, you could enter exactly where it is now. You could enter in this sort of zone. That would give you a potential upside to $66 of around 60%. And potentially you could put your stop loss around about, this key level here of $36. So if you did that, you'd have 60% to that level of $66 and you'd have a downside of 12%, offering a risk to reward ratio of 4.88. However, I think there's probably a lower risk entry point, and that would be entering above this level here of $48. You could put the stop loss here around about that $39 level, the short-term support level, and once again you could target this price level of 66. That would give you 37% upside to this key level and 18% towards the downside, giving you a risk to reward ratio of 2, which is fine. And you could play around with that stop loss, put it in between, perhaps choose 10 or 15%, an arbitrary figure. But potentially that short-term level there of 39 could offer short-term support. If it fell through there after you entered the trade, then it's more than likely going to fall down to find support at 35. Stage 1 of that trade, entering at this level here, would give you 37% upside to 66. Now beyond that, if it keeps going, you've got over 100% to that key price level of $100. And if it keeps pushing up and marching forward, you've got about 156% to the all-time high, which might unfold over the next 3 to 6 months. So right now, overall, SMCI is looking really good. It's looking bullish and it is trending upwards. I think there's a number of rules you can consider to enter this stock and potentially take a medium to long-term trade. But I think the most obvious one would be to use Dow theory. We've got this price moving up here, it's created this peak, it's now pulling back. And I think once price does break through this level of $48, and potentially I want to see price action close above $48 for the week, and that would constitute an entry the week after, confirming, for that previous week, the buyers are in control, and the probability is that price will keep moving up towards that $66 target. And that gives you a clear path to around about 38% upside to that first level. Overall, I think this is a good opportunity, but let me know what you think in the comments. Are you bullish on SMCI? What are your rules that you might use to enter this trade? I'd love to know your feedback. Thanks for watching.